Most people have no idea that the chocolate bar in your kitchen right now was once used as currency, so valuable that ancient civilizations used it to pay soldiers, fund armies, and settle debts. And here's what no one tells you. For over 1,000 years, the people who discovered chocolate never once ate it as a solid. They drank it cold, bitter, and laced with chili peppers. What we call chocolate today barely resembles what started one of the most obsessive food revolutions in human history. So here's the question. How did one bitter tropical seed transform into over 600 distinct chocolate varieties, worth a global industry of more than $130 billion a year? Today, we are going on a journey across rainforests and factory floors, from the courts of Aztec emperors to the pastry kitchens of Switzerland and Japan, to uncover every chocolate, what it actually is, where it truly comes from, and the surprising science that makes each one completely different. Let's start at the very beginning. Dark chocolate. Dark chocolate is, in many ways, the original chocolate. Its roots trace back to the Olmec civilization in southern Mexico, around 1500 BCE, making it one of the oldest processed foods still consumed today. The process begins with the cacao tree, Theobroma cacao, food of the gods, in Greek. The seeds are fermented for 5 to 8 days, dried, roasted, and ground into a thick paste called chocolate liquor. The fat, cocoa butter, is partially separated, then recombined in precise ratios. Dark chocolate must contain at least 35% cocoa solids by legal definition in both the US and UK, though premium bars often run from 70% all the way to 100%. Here's the surprising part. Dark chocolate contains more antioxidant flavonoids per gram than blueberries, red wine, or green tea. A 2017 study in Frontiers in Nutrition linked regular consumption of high cacao dark chocolate to reduced inflammation markers. But the flavor? That's where most people get it wrong. Pause. The bitterness isn't a flaw. It's the truest expression of what cacao actually tastes like. And once you train your palate, nothing else comes close. Milk chocolate. Milk chocolate was actually an accident of ambition. In 1875, Swiss chemist Henri Nestlé had figured out how to condense and powder fresh milk. His neighbor, chocolatier Daniel Peter, had been trying for years to add milk to chocolate without the water content causing it to seize and spoil. He combined the two ideas, and milk chocolate was born in Vevey, Switzerland. To qualify as milk chocolate, a product must contain at least 10% cocoa solids in the US and 25% in the UK, a difference that causes real tension in the transatlantic chocolate trade. British consumers often find American milk chocolate too sweet. Americans find British milk chocolate richer and creamier. Both are right because the recipes are genuinely different. The shocking fact: the average American consumes approximately 9.5 pounds of chocolate per year, and the overwhelming majority is milk chocolate. That's not a craving, that's a cultural institution. White chocolate. Let's settle this debate permanently. White chocolate is not chocolate, not really. It contains 0 cocoa solids. It's made entirely from cocoa butter, the fat extracted from the cacao bean, combined with milk solids, sugar, and vanilla. The FDA only legally recognized it as white chocolate in 2002. And yet, the cocoa butter in white chocolate is the most expensive part of any chocolate. It has a melting point almost exactly at human body temperature, which is why real white chocolate melts the instant it touches your tongue in a way no substitute can replicate. Here's the mini reveal. Most cheap white chocolate contains 0 cocoa butter, replaced entirely with palm oil or vegetable fat. If your white chocolate doesn't list cocoa butter as an ingredient, you're technically eating a white confection, not white chocolate at all. Bittersweet and semi-sweet chocolate. You've seen these terms on baking recipes your whole life, but most people treat them as interchangeable, and professional pastry chefs cringe every time. Semi-sweet chocolate typically contains 50 to 65% cacao, while bittersweet lands between 65 to 80%. But in the United States, the FDA requires no legal distinction. A manufacturer can label the same product as either, and many do. This matters because these are the workhorses of American baking. Toll House cookies, ganache, truffles, they all depend on the specific fat-to-sugar ratio. Use the wrong one, and a mousse becomes grainy. A ganache breaks. A brownie turns waxy. The surprising truth, semi-sweet chocolate was popularized almost entirely by one woman, In 1938, Ruth Wakefield of the Toll House Inn chopped up a Nestlé semi-sweet bar expecting it to melt into her cookie dough. It didn't. The chunks stayed intact, and the chocolate chip cookie was born. Ruby Chocolate. Ruby Chocolate is the newest variety to be officially recognized as a distinct chocolate category, and it looks like something designed by a marketing team rather than nature. But that's the shocking part. The color is entirely natural. Developed by Barry Callebaut and launched in 2017 after more than a decade of research, Ruby Chocolate gets its distinctive pink-red hue from a specific processing method applied to naturally pigmented, unfermented cacao beans, primarily from Ecuador, Brazil, and Ivory Coast. The flavor is unlike anything else, fruity and slightly sour, almost like white chocolate crossed with fresh raspberries, without a single fruit ingredient added. No berry extracts, no food coloring, just cacao. It has exploded in the UK, Japan, and South Korea as a premium product. Kit Kat launched a Ruby variant that sold out within hours in multiple markets. The science. The pink compounds exist naturally inside certain beans, but only survive when processed without extended fermentation at specific pH levels. It took Barry Callebaut 13 years to stabilize the color consistently. Raw chocolate. Here is the one that genuinely stopped us during research. Raw chocolate, sold widely in health food stores as healthier, unprocessed, and more nutritious, is, according to multiple food scientists, largely a marketing myth. The term raw implies cacao was never heated above 115 degrees Fahrenheit, 46 degrees Celsius. The claim, this preserves more antioxidants, enzymes, and nutrients than conventional chocolate. Here's the problem. Cacao beans naturally carry harmful bacteria, including salmonella. This is exactly why roasting, at temperatures well above raw thresholds, exists. A 2014 outbreak in Germany was directly linked to raw, unroasted cacao powder. A 2019 analysis in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found the difference in antioxidant levels between raw and conventionally roasted dark chocolate is negligible when adjusted for bioavailability. And the flavor? Raw chocolate tastes harsh and astringent, which is why nearly every raw chocolate product is loaded with agave syrup or coconut sugar to mask the bitterness. You are paying 3 to 4 times the price of regular dark chocolate for a product whose core health claim does not survive peer-reviewed scrutiny. That said, cacao nibs, the crushed roasted pieces sold separately, are genuinely nutritious, high in fiber, magnesium, and flavonoids. The nibs are real. The raw revolution around them is largely branding. Japanese chocolate. Japan's relationship with chocolate is unlike anywhere else on Earth. Japanese confectionery culture, rooted in the ancient discipline of wagashi, values precision, restraint, and seasonal ingredients. When chocolate merged with this philosophy, it produced combinations that Western chocolatiers are still trying to understand and replicate. Matcha white chocolate, wasabi dark chocolate, black sesame ganache, sakura-flavored milk chocolate released for exactly 6 weeks every spring. Royce's Chocolate, based in Hokkaido, produces Nama chocolate, a ganache-style confection made with fresh cream that has a shelf life of only 10 to 14 days. It cannot be exported without refrigeration, making it one of the most sought-after chocolate souvenirs in the world. The shocking cultural fact: Valentine's Day in Japan works in reverse. Women give chocolate to men, with a strict distinction between giri choco, obligatory chocolate for coworkers, and honmei choco, genuine romantic chocolate. Then, exactly 1 month later on March 14th, White Day, men return the gift with white chocolate at triple the value of what they received. That's a chocolate economy built into the calendar. Couverture Chocolate. If you've ever wondered why restaurant desserts look impossibly glossy while homemade chocolate work looks dull and streaky, the answer is couverture. Couverture contains a significantly higher percentage of cocoa butter, typically 32 to 39%, compared to standard eating chocolate at 18 to 26%. That extra fat makes it thinner when melted, easier to coat, faster to set, and capable of that signature audible snap when broken cold. The name comes from the French word for covering. It is the professional chocolatier's material of choice, and it requires a process called tempering to work correctly. Tempering involves carefully raising and lowering the temperature of melted chocolate through specific ranges, For dark couverture, heat to 50 degrees Celsius, cool to 27 degrees Celsius, then raise back to 31 to 32 degrees Celsius to align cocoa butter crystals into the stable Form 5 structure. Get it wrong by just 2 degrees and the chocolate blooms, turning gray, chalky, and soft. This is a skill pastry students train for months to master. Major brands: Valrhona of France, Callebaut of Belgium, Guittard of California, supply virtually every high-end chocolatier and Michelin-starred restaurant in the US and UK. Single-origin chocolate. The wine world has terroir, the idea that soil, climate, and geography create flavor you cannot manufacture. Chocolate has the exact same principle. Single-origin chocolate is made from cacao beans sourced from one specific country, region, or even single farm, and the flavor differences are extraordinary. Madagascan cacao from the Sambirano Valley produces bright, citrusy chocolate, notes of red berries, dried fruit, and a tangy finish. Peruvian cacao from the Piura region is nutty and earthy. Venezuelan Criollo beans, some of the rarest cacao in the world, produce an almost floral complexity that commands extraordinary prices. The bean variety matters enormously. There are 3 main species: Criollo, the rarest, at less than 5% of global production; Forastero, the most common, at 80 to 90%; and Trinitario, a natural hybrid combining Forastero's hardiness with Criollo's flavor complexity. The craft chocolate movement, Dandelion Chocolate in San Francisco, Dick Taylor in California, Rocca in New York, has made single origin a genuine specialty food category, the way craft beer transformed brewing in the 1990s. The shocking number: a single bar from a micro-batch producer can retail for 18 to 28 in the US for 1.5 ounces of chocolate. Every cent reflects geography, genetics, and craft. Blonde/caramel chocolate, Dulce. Blonde chocolate, sometimes called gold or caramel chocolate, is the result of an accident in one of the world's most prestigious chocolate kitchens. In 2006, Frédéric Baud, executive chef of the Valrhona Chocolate School in France, accidentally left white chocolate in a bain-marie at low heat for several hours. What he returned to was a completely transformed product, a deep golden brown mass with an intense flavor of biscuits, caramel, butterscotch, and roasted milk. The Maillard reaction, the caramelization of milk sugars, had fundamentally changed the product's chemistry and flavor profile. Valrhona named it Dulce, launched it commercially in 2012, and it quickly became one of the most copied innovations in professional chocolate making. Today, every major couverture manufacturer produces their own version. For home cooks, you can make it yourself. Spread white chocolate chips on a parchment-lined tray, bake at 250 degrees Fahrenheit for 60 to 90 minutes, stirring every 10 minutes until golden. It's one of the easiest and most rewarding chocolate transformations you can do at home. Mexican chocolate. We end where chocolate itself began. Mexican tablet chocolate, coarsely ground, spiced with cinnamon and sugar, is the direct descendant of what Aztec Emperor Moctezuma II served to Hernán Cortés in 1519. Accounts describe a drink called xocolotl, made from ground cacao, water, vanilla, and chili, consumed cold from golden cups. Cortés reportedly described it to the King of Spain as the divine drink which builds up resistance and fights fatigue. The Spanish brought cacao to Europe, added sugar and heat, and chocolate became sweetened and warm. But in Mexico, the original spirit of chocolate, complex, spiced, used as an ingredient rather than a confection, never disappeared. Today, Mexican tablet chocolate, brands like Ibarra and Abuelita, is gritty, grainy, and intensely aromatic with cinnamon. It's not designed for snacking. It's dissolved into hot milk for champurrado, or stirred into mole negro. Sauces containing up to 30 distinct ingredients that take 3 days to prepare. The most surprising fact: authentic mole negro contains so little actual chocolate that many chefs argue it is incorrect to call it a chocolate sauce at all. The chocolate's role is depth and color, not flavor dominance. So, let's take a moment. We started with a seed used as currency. We discovered that raw chocolate, one of the fastest growing health food categories, is built on claims food scientists largely cannot verify. we learned that ruby chocolate's extraordinary color comes from a pH reaction inside an unfermented bean, and that a French chef accidentally invented an entirely new chocolate category by forgetting to watch his stove. Chocolate is not a simple thing. It is a story spanning 3,000 years, 6 continents, and more chemistry than most people ever imagine when they tear open a wrapper. Let us know in the comments, which of these surprised you the most? The raw chocolate myth? The Japanese white day economy? Or the fact that the chocolate chip cookie was basically an accident? Hit subscribe so you never miss what we uncover next.